I'm in peace. Bronzebird in the building. uh, I owed a stream to y'all last week. I was supposed to do it and I didn't do it. Tonight I'm still gonna be doing a stream for the fellas tonight. What is a man part 3? If nobody shows up, that's cool. I have some clips that I'm gonna be a clip that I'm going to be reviewing for tonight's show at 8:35 p.m. Eastern time. So, anybody got added in that whole entire stream, yo, come through and support. Last weekend was a beautiful stream. I loved it. Positive feedback, positive reviews. So I expected tonight to bring it back. I'm gonna have some clips that we can go over, or a clip that we can go over. So yeah, but basically this, man. I'm not gonna make this stream long at all. Like, I'm not gonna try to spend a lot of time on the stream. I'm just gonna say my piece and peace out. It's amazing because the discussions about men these days, we're always talking about finances. We're always talking about a man being a quote unquote provider, the tenure of what a man what is his accomplishments, what does he do? And, my opinions about men of today's society, they're always trying to remix and trying to, make it seem as if men are a certain way and should move like this and men should move like that. And it's like, hold on. What is a man? We already discussed that. The average man. Because everybody believes that a man has to be rich. You understand? Or it seems as if a lot of the talking points men make is for the validation of women. That we must do what we do in order to be satisfied by a woman. Right? We never talked about being satisfied with self as a man. So I've been struggling because I don't know how to get these words out. Because there's so much to impact on being a man, right? Like, what is expected as you as a man? Like, what's the entailing details of what you should be like as a man? You know what I'm saying? And my whole entire thing is, yes, a man is a man. But now what comes into being a man? The social stereotypes, the stigmas, all these different things that I start to think about. That's why it's like kind of hard for me to unpack, but it's not hard for me to unpack. I know what a man is. It's not like I'm sitting here telling y'all, I don't know what a man is. No, I know what a man is, right? But to get to this point, I had thought about the average man, the everyday man. Like, everybody wants to look at a man when he's heroic, putting his life on the line, or when a man is of a social status where he's particularly rich, wealthy. That's when everybody wants to pay attention to man. But the everyday man, the blue collar man, the white collar man that sits behind a desk, at this point, who's not affected by Chat GPT or, the layoffs of these different companies, what about him? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about him? What if it's the man that earns a lot of money, but he lives in an apartment? Or he lives in, the man that came up from the gutter, who used to live in a shelter. The man that used to live and be homeless. Found his way and he's making adequate money, or he's making average salary. What about him? You understand? Like, for me to have this conversation is not hard. You know what I mean? I'm just like, the average man. How come he's not worthy? How come he's not honored? You know what I mean? And again, it still feels like a lot of these conversations go to being accepted by women's standards, not being accepted by what a man's standards is, because I thought we set the tone for what manhood is. You understand? So I make this Brownstone powwow as a way to say, is the average man not worthy? It's a question I like to ask, because you hear a lot of dudes that come around and say, yeah, I'm involved in tech and, I'm involved in this. I got 5 to 7 businesses. I got 10 businesses. What about the man that has stock in companies, right? Or he's just living his day-to-day life. What about him? You know what I'm saying? And I know there's a couple of dudes out here who's putting on a show. They ain't really what they talk about. They just putting on a whole entire scene. You know what I mean? Like, certain dudes be putting on a show, try to make it seem like, yeah, I got all this and I got all that, man. Bullshit, man. Some of you dudes is basement dwellers. Some of you dudes is, surviving the way that y'all are. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I definitely wanted to make this stream to say, it's all right for wherever you are in your life as a man. As long as you have a plan and you have a way that you're moving, that's all that matters. And I don't think we have that conversation too much, because man is supposed to be seen as already made it. Not in development, not in a way to get there, already made it. Or at least that's how it seems in society, right? I'm going to take you back with history. I had thought about World War II, in which I had thought about the propaganda in World War II, when I had seen the posters for the draft, right? And in that draft, they sat up there and say, fight for your country, fight for, put your life on the line, basically, for the country. And who was on that advertisement basically trying to create this whole entire atmosphere, like, do it for me, do it for me? Women. That's what I had seen on that advertisement, where they had the woman, smiling and looking at the man like, fight the war for me, fight the war for me. And it's like, what if man wanted to fight battle for himself? To say that he did it. To say that he actually accomplished something he really wanted to do. Learning combat, going into war, killing someone or not killing someone, or being on the front lines of doing all these extraordinary things. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me, y'all. My thoughts is all over the place, but I definitely want to have this conversation with y'all today because, so many people get so wrapped up, and this goes into a later series or a stream that I'm going to do, in which, I'm going to be talking about the profile of relationships, because I think the problem in our society is that everybody wants the now. Nobody wants the in development mode, trying to get to that place or doing what he has to do until he gets there. And once he gets there, everybody basically is like, yeah, look at him. He did this, he did that. But nobody knows his story. Nobody knows his come up. Nobody's seen the potential in that man before he got to that place he got to. And basically who I'm trying to shed light on is the dudes that's in development. The dudes that don't get enough recognition. You understand? When I look at the photos of the rich people that walk into those buildings, what about the people who built those buildings? What about that photo from the 1930s of those construction men that was sitting on that steel beam having lunch? Those were average men, weren't they? Those were men that was sitting up there taking their time every day to get dressed and come over to that building, that structure, to build what you know now as the Empire State Building or the Chrysler Building. And still to this day, the same group of men, the same type of men are building those buildings. The dudes that's blue collar workers or white collar workers. So I think I'm going to try to mix that into my panel discussion tonight, because as we explore manhood and why I think it's important to explain manhood cannot be structuralized over just one generalization of what you believe a man is or what a man is to you. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm all over the place with my thoughts. This is actually unprepared. But let me read one of y'all comments. A man single or with a family takes care of his responsibility. And that's supposed to be what a man does. We already agreed from the last panel that man takes care of his responsibilities because he's a problem solver. He always finds a way. He always finds different solutions to his own problems, as well as just what things are going out there. You know what I mean? Like when we see all these tech things that's going on, that's developed by mankind, right? Developed by man. Seeing that the basic necessities of life can be solved with these tech, things that I'm putting before you. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of brothers that's getting it in when it comes to tech and stuff like that, but that's not my point. My point is the everyday man needs to be honored, just like the rich man, the wealthy man, or the man of substance needs to be honored. You understand what I'm saying? People out there that don't have to do extraneous stuff like putting their life on the line, being a firefighter or being a cop or something like that. Because I feel like also when we talk about manhood, a level of, I would say, job prospects play into this too. Depending on who you are as a man, people pay attention to you more. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? When you're the big old tech guy or you're the guy out there that is a firefighter or cop, people want to pay attention to you more because you're noteworthy. You're a superhero. But what about the guy that takes out the trash? needs a lot of strength to take out trash, don't you? You know what I'm saying? The guy that's a producer, the guy that does this, the guy that does that. So, I mean, that's my whole key pointers on it. This was a quick stream. I ain't going to take too long on it. I just wanted to express my thoughts and opinions about it. Otherwise than that, tonight, I wanted to just make a conversation about how manhood is being challenged by today's status quo. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of a detail before I leave and get on out of here. My thing is this, man. It's funny how, you start to have trans men that's starting to insert themselves into the conversation. And I feel some type of way about that. Because the clip that I'm going to be showing tonight is about the conservative versus the trans man. And that's going to be a very relatively big conversation I really want to gear into. But the average man is not worthy. Make sure you give your thoughts on that. I don't really got a lot to say. 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be running the panel again. What is a man part 3? Before I get on out of here, shout outs to everybody. This just was a quick stream. Until next time. Oh, Khalil Bell, what's going on with you, brother? Until next time, I'm going to be running a panel. Stay tuned for about 2 hours from now, 8:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Otherwise than that, peace.